Down! Kill rope! Down!
130-65 on the 21 delayed, 950, go ahead.
Owner of a construction company John Matthews gets a phone call from Sylvie Collins, his ex-wife. His estranged son Jason is accused of drug distribution even though he isn't a dealer and was put up by a friend as part of a sting operation to lessen his own sentence after getting caught. The minimum sentence for Jason's offenses is 10 years in jail. John feels guilty about not being present for his son and grows impatient when he learns that Jason might be killed before serving out his sentence. John sets up several meetings with the surrounding area US Attorney Joanne, who is waging a vigorous anti-drug campaign to increase her prospects of winning a seat in Congress. If John can provide information about a drug dealer, Joanne will agree to lessen Jason's sentence, but she warns him that she won't offer a lot of support and that the danger will be all his. A task group under the direction of Agent Cooper will keep an eye on any transactions that John plans to use as justification for an arrest. When John looks through his employee files, he discovers a worker on his payroll who has 2 prior distribution convictions. Given that he now has a wife and a little son to take care of, Daniel is trying to live a clean life to avoid committing a third strike. If Daniel can just put John in touch with a dealer, John will pay Daniel $20,000. While John is acting as an informant, Daniel initially refuses but ultimately accepts so that he can relocate his son to a more secure place. John is introduced to Malik by Daniel, a highly dangerous and powerful local drug dealer who, like Daniel, has 2 prior offenses. John offers to run virtually unlimited quantities of narcotics at almost minimal risk in his freight trucks, explaining that his business needs a boost to its earnings in order to survive in the current economic climate. The trucks carry too much freight to be extensively searched and avoid suspicion because they are a real business. John and Daniel must drive the first run, and Malik agrees on that condition. To record the transactions in question, John and Agent Cooper set up numerous wiretaps. John travels by car to the pickup location by the border with Mexico. A rival gang ambushes the pickup during this operation, but John makes a daring escape, impressing cartel boss Juan Carlos, El Topo, Pintera, whose cartel successfully repels the ambushers. John successfully fulfills his part of the bargain by giving Malik the medications while being watched by Agent Cooper. Malik speaks of a meeting with cartel figures above him. Cooper declines to detain Malik during the deal in an effort to apprehend the targets with a higher priority. Keeghan maintains that Cooper made the proper decision and will not commute Jason's sentence without John's cooperation in a follow-up meeting. Outraged, John agrees, but only provided Jason is released once the task is finished rather than just having his sentence reduced. Around this time, Daniel becomes upset after learning of the deal John struck with the police and threatens to kill John, Daniel, and their families if the truth is revealed. Families of John and Daniel are sent into hiding. Juan Carlos Pintera and John have a meeting under significantly tighter cartel protection than he has previously witnessed. Juan offers to make John a part of the cartel inner circle in exchange for John bringing back to the organization's base of operations over $100 million in drug revenues from Mexico. John informs Keeghan and Cooper about this. Keeghan is thrilled to have found such a major target, but Cooper changes his mind and tries to persuade John not to go on the run because he fears the cartel would kill him as a result. John comes up with an approach to set himself and Daniel free from the cartel and the authorities. John manages to evade Cooper's observation while running. Daniel breaks into Malik's home at the same moment, murdering Malik's security personnel and injuring Malik. Malik gives Daniel Juan Carlos's phone number just before he passes away. John gives Cooper the money and the kingpin all at once when he calls and asks him to track both his new phone and Juan Carlos's phone. The cartel's discovery that John is an informant leads to a highway chase and shooting, which leads to John's escape. Cooper's men seize the money and the cartel members. Juan Carlos is also apprehended, but he refuses to engage the police in a shootout since his small kid is with him. Jason is released the following day as the film comes to a close. John enrolls in the witness protection program with his family. Insisting that he and his family will go into hiding on their own, Daniel refuses to participate in the scheme. John gives Daniel the sizable prize check he was expected to receive for the capture of Juan Carlos because Daniel has lost his job. The movie ends by giving data that demonstrates that certain first-time nonviolent drug offenders typically serve longer jail terms than those found guilty of rape or manslaughter.